Okay guys, welcome back. So I want to introduce you guys to the MorpheusX 195. This is one of the most intriguing frames that I've seen in a long time. There's been a lot of 195, 200, 220 size frames out there. This is locally made, so I have no problems supporting people who are in small businesses and locally making things. I've seen a lot of frames in my day, and I have to tell you guys that this is one of the finest carbon fiber cutting jobs I've ever seen. You can literally run your baby's hand across these arms here. You will not receive any cuts or burrs or anything like that. It's so smooth it actually feels silky. It's a modular design. As you can see, this everything is keyed in together. I'm just going to lay out the arms here for you. It's going to look just like this. It has some recesses that you can recess your PDB down into the center section right here. So it makes things look pretty tidy. As far as wiring goes, as you guys know, I love clean builds, so that's what it's going to look like here. I also got an extra arm just in case. You guys can see here on the screen, it has a very unique FPV camera system, which is really nice. It kind of brings the FPV camera pod on the top of the quad, and it's very well protected in this little cage here. So now I just have this kind of press fit together. As you can see, the carbon goes together really nice, but this is going to sit down in here like this. And you guys will see this in a moment because I'm going to bolt everything together. It has a pivot point right here, and this allows it to go from like 50 degrees down to like 20 degrees, something about like that. That's one of the things that was a minor annoyance in my MRM Reaper, is that the camera, it would be kind of out front of the quad, and if you hit something hard enough, it would actually make the camera tilt downward, which is a really is a bummer. Now this one has a little bit of a ratcheting steps here that you can put the screw through, so it actually will hold it in the spot. It's not just being held by friction. Here's the bottom plate and the top plate of that are going to go on either side of these arms. These are the standoffs here. They have a really nice finish that I haven't seen before. It's kind of like a matte black color. Now he is also sending you some standoffs here and also some rubber O-rings here. Then that's so you can soft mount your flight control system if you wish. There's also, forgot to mention, in this camera pod, there's a space in the back here to run your VTX. So your VTX and camera are going to be really close by. It's going to help clean up the wiring and everything. One thing that I should mention, guys, is on Skyward RC's website, they have a blog post section which shows the complete building instructions of the Morpheus. So I'm going to be following this along as I go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys on time lapse, and I'm going to go ahead and put this frame together, and I'll give you some of my thoughts afterwards, and we'll be flying this probably in the next 1 to 2 weeks or so. Okay guys, so I just got done building the MorpheusX from Skyward RC, and I wanted to mention a few things about the frame. Number one, I like it a lot. It's such a cool frame. Arms, in case you break an arm, and I suggest if you're going to buy this frame, go ahead and buy an extra arm, but the arms are only $5 a piece, so that's a really great thing to have on such a cool frame here in case you do break things. Just a couple things to point out here. They do give you 2 lengths of standoffs here. This shorty length here and also this slightly longer length here. I don't remember the total standoff height there, but the longer one, let's see, the longer one is. So the longer one is 20 millimeters. and you can see how it looks compared to the one that's in here. I would say that's probably a 15mm standoff that's on the stock, the way I have it set up here. Now I have this set up right now with a DTFC, which is the flight controller that has a built-in PDB, so I don't need to run the PDB down below here. So that's going to be pretty clean. I could also possibly have mounted this underneath this plate. There's a lot of mounting options. If you are running a separate PDB, you can run that underneath this plate back here onto these holes right here, which it'll be totally self-contained, which is a really interesting feature of this quad frame. Now you have your battery straps looped either way, so you can run your battery in either direction if you wish. So I'm going to tell you about the standout feature of this quad frame, which is, of course, this thing right here. This is the FPV pod that's going to house your FPV camera, your VTX, and also your HD camera. So first off, your FPV camera is going to go right in here, and if you're running a HS1177 or a RunCam Swift, it's going to bolt right up here. I think you might need to use a spacer, but this seems to be just built perfectly for the width of this camera. And you can vary the angle of the camera just by loosening these two screws right here. Now you'll see there's a big difference between the right and left here. So this is nice and smooth here, and this is got this knurled notch here, so this will not slip out of place. So when you're changing the camera angle, you'll need to pull this bolt completely out so that you can angle the camera at whichever angle that you would like, all the way up to I think like 65 degrees, something like that. Okay, so it goes from here to here. So you would just pop your bolt in, whichever, and I think there's about 7 or 8 places that you can put it in there. Alright, so which brings us to the VTX. VTX is going to sit on this plate right here. It's going to have a support area for your SMA connector. You can wrap the SMA connector with a couple of zip ties really nicely. What's nice about this is that this keeps the VTX and the FPV camera very close together, and it keeps it in a nice area where you can get your power from your PDB or your FC PDB. So let's just take a look at this frame really quick and see where it's exactly measuring out. So we have it exactly dead on 195 millimeters. Motor to motor here is going to be, so motor to motor is going to be 138 millimeters in between each motor. So, and this is obviously a true X frame. Camera FPV pod has kind of been one of my biggest quirks or pet peeves about some of the other style frames that I run, the X style frames. So I'm really looking forward to trying this out. It is built like a tank because there's all these metal standoffs all the way through this build here. I'm really excited to try this out. I'm going to be drawing some parts over from one of my other builds onto this. Stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again to Skyward RC for sending me this awesome frame, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.